Hello, everyone. Welcome to Connection with Intention. I'm Erin Lee of heavenlymessenger.com, and I'm so incredibly grateful that you're joining me this evening. Not only is it on short notice, but it's at an incredibly busy time of the year. And also, there have just been huge numbers of technological glitches over the last several hours today. This is an impromptu gathering. Earlier today, I was supposed to be on my News for the Soul radio show, but they're also experiencing technological glitches. So I thought, what better time to do Connection with Intention, because it's been so long since we've had the opportunity to connect. So I'm even more grateful that you're here with me this evening. I'm trying out the new streaming platform that Miss Bobby Roundtree and I are using. And so there again have been kind of some technological difficulties. I'm really hoping that I'll be able to see the comments this evening. So if you're, connect chat. Oh, maybe that's what I need to do. Oh, awesome. Wonderful. So we ran into this problem the last time that Bobby and I went live using this streaming platform, in that it will tell me where you're posting from, but it doesn't give me your name. So for example, I have hi Erin with the heart emoji, and it just says Facebook user, and another one, hi Erin, so great to see you. It's wonderful to see you too. And another hi Erin. You guys, you're so awesome. So if you'd like me to call you by name, please just include that. I'm hopeful that this is something that will shift, or we'll figure out how to do it. So there you go. I'm not sure how to do the little comments along the bottom the way that we did with the last one. So I'm going to ask you to hold on to your questions until I post about it, to keep things really fair. I'm not going to be answering any psychic reading questions until we come to that part. So hold on to them and I will ask you in a little bit. Just going through again, we've got hello, some more highs, a really big hi. Hello, Erin. Oh, Carla, I'm able to see you. Carla's joining us on YouTube. Wonderful. And Steve is here. It's great to see you. Thanks for joining us. And Margaret, it's wonderful to see you too. Thank you so much for hopping on this evening. You guys, I just want to take a moment to express how incredibly blessed and grateful I am to be able to connect with you guys. I know the last time I think was sometime in October, and I've been meaning to do this, and things have just been kind of getting in the way. So I wanted to talk this evening a little bit about the coming holiday season. I don't know about you if you're starting to feel it. I'm definitely starting to feel it. If you've joined Miss Bobby Roundtree and I on our talks, you may be aware that I experienced something called PMDD. It stands for premenstrual dysphoric disorder. And there are times, about half of the month, half of my cycle, where I am exhausted and depressed, and it's a really downward spiral. And in connecting with my counselor last week, recognizing that this is coming into like a highly challenging time of year just in general, but on top of that, coming in at a time that's really challenging for me, it's kind of a double, triple whammy. The question was, how am I going to navigate this? And in a lot of the healing work that I've been doing for myself, I've been using this really beautiful somatic program by this awesome woman. Her name is Liz. Her company is called The Workout Witch. And if you also deal with like high cortisol and stress and depression and anxiety and all of the things, definitely go and check her out. She's on Instagram and Facebook, and she shares lots of really interesting information. But one of the things that resonated for me the most was one of her cues and prompts to move into the next exercise or the next movement is to say, do it in as lazy a way as possible. And when I feel that, there's part of me that says, yep, absolutely, that's exactly what I need to do. And then there's another part of me that says, but we've got all of these other things that we need to do. And there's this go, 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 go. And I realized that in needing to slow down and take time for myself, a hopefully reformed perfectionist is coming to you and is saying, I'm focusing on doing things in the laziest way possible. So my hope is that this evening, as we connect together, that you'll be able to join me in doing things in the laziest, slowest way possible. Because when I think about all of the pressure that many of us feel and experience as we head into the holidays, I mean, regardless of whether you're parents or not, but I think especially for parents who are trying to create experiences for their kids, there's a lot of pressure that can exist there for things to be just right, to have all of the things. There's gift giving and activities, there's food, and there are stockings, and there is possibly a desire to create or to support as many magical moments as you can. And if that's starting to feel overwhelming for you, I invite you to try in the laziest way possible and allow yourself to connect in other ways. Recognizing and remembering that we don't have to be perfect, but that us showing up in the best way that we can is what's actually going to be supportive, not only for us, but for the people around us, and also for kids and family members too. So take it slowly, be gentle with yourself, be really nourishing with yourself, and allow things to flow. We are right in the middle of Mercury retrograde. I say that. I know we're in Mercury retrograde. I don't actually know that we're in the middle of it. We might actually be on the early end of it. But one of the things that comes up during Mercury retrograde is communication challenges and difficulties, technical difficulties and challenges, miscommunication and unintentional miscommunication, which to me is another reason to slow down as much as you can, to give the benefit of the doubt and be as gentle as you possibly can with yourself and the people around you, especially the ones that you love the most. Awesome. So I just want to do a check-in and see here. And somebody else has said that they have PMDD as well, and that they really feel me. Yeah, I feel you too. I mean, it manifests for women in all sorts of different ways, and I know that it's not the only challenge that people deal with. But yeah, I see you too, my friend. I didn't see, you know what? I haven't seen any other lives today, but somebody else is saying, and again, I'm only seeing Facebook users, so I'm sorry for not addressing you guys by name. And this person saying, I'm feeling exactly this. Absolutely. I'm totally feeling it too. I've been in it for what feels like months, but it's really hitting hard right now. So be gentle with yourself. Margaret, I love it. Thank you so much for including your name. And Margaret saying, yay, the laziest and slowest way possible sounds great at this hectic time of year. Absolutely. Take off as much pressure as you possibly can, and allow yourself to rest, relax, slow down, and enjoy spending time with friends and family and other loved ones, or even just connections that you make at the grocery store while you're running around doing your tasks and your activities. Awesome. And oh, Tasha, Tasha, that's great. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know that. Yeah, because on this one here, I'll just pop it up. This is what it looks like. It just says Facebook user. So if I don't say your name, that's why. I'm not exactly sure who it is. So it's really interesting to come to the reading portion. So the other thing, I think that we'll move over into Choose Your Crystal Adventure, because that's always a lot of fun. So the other thing with moving to this new platform is that the pictures that I usually take, I'm not sure how to do that yet. I haven't figured it out. So I'm going to hold some crystals up for you and you get to choose. So the reason I do the choose your reading crystal adventure, choose your adventure crystal reading is what it is because I know that I'm not going to get to everybody for the questions this evening, and I want to give everyone an opportunity to receive a message. So what I ask you to do, you're able to ask as many questions as you would like. Think about one question, and I'm going to ask you to choose. So the first crystal that we have here, this is carnelian. It's also a type of I was going to say agate, but I think actually it's chalcedony. We have clear quartz. And the other crystal that popped out for me is a big heavy hitter, is we've got some malachite. So take a moment and ask which crystal most applies to the question that you have. So sit, breathe, and allow that crystal to come forward. Your choices are carnelian, clear quartz, and malachite. So I'm just going to pull the card. We're just going to use the Archangel Oracle card deck this evening. So we've got carnelian, we've got clear quartz, and we've got malachite. So if you were drawn, oh, that's beautiful. If you were drawn to carnelian this evening, the message for you is compassion. And I absolutely love this on the heels of all of the messages that we've just shared as well. Compassion is all about being gentle and nurturing and nourishing, not only with yourself, but with others as well. If you find that you aren't in a place where you're able to offer compassion to others, it's likely because you aren't taking time to offer it to yourself first. This is Archangel Zadkiel, and his message is soften your heart with respect to the situation and all the people involved, including yourself. So what's coming forward for you with this, with the question that you've asked, is to slow down, take your time. It could be that there are the things that haven't come into our awareness yet. And so there are some challenges and difficulties because you don't have enough of the information in order to be able to successfully move forward. So slow down, be compassionate, be loving and supportive with yourself. Just given the crystal, the carnelian crystal that's popping up for me too. For me, this is a crystal of passion, of purpose and desire. So focus on what it is that you want. This is a wonderful time to start looking into some affirmation and manifestation and really focusing on the best and highest good for all, as well as the hopeful outcome that you have for this situation, particularly if it's something that supports your passion and something that you love. If you chose the clear quartz crystal, I love this. The card that we have here is You Are Safe. This is Archangel Michael, and his message is, I am protecting you against lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones, and your home. Check in and see, is there some aspect of the situation that doesn't feel safe, that doesn't feel quite right, that feels maybe a little bit off? If there is, call in, invite in Archangel Michael, ask him for help and support in clearing what isn't serving, what isn't working, and to help raise the energy and the vibration of the circumstances and the situation that you're in. There's also a big call here to clearing and to releasing and to letting go. So ask yourself, is there some part of this circumstance or situation that isn't working for me, that isn't in my best and highest good, that no longer feels right? Is there something that needs to be released, needs to be let go in order to honor the integrity of the rest of the situation? So invite Archangel Michael and ask him for help and support. If you have chosen the Malachite card, the message that we have for you is counselor, and this is Archangel Azrael. And Archangel Azrael is such a cool archangel. I'll talk about him in a moment. His message is, you are a natural counselor, and many people benefit from your guidance and reassurance. So this could be encouragement and confirmation that in the role that you have in helping and supporting others. This can be encouragement to check in with a counselor, to talk with somebody else, because there's a lot that's going on in your head and possibly in your heart or outside of you. Archangel Azrael, as I said, is really an interesting archangel. In the past, he's been known as the Archangel of Death because, not for a scary reason, but because he helps us to raise up and to cross over when it's our time. He also helps and supports those of us who are left behind in the grief that we have and that we hold. And he also helps to facilitate communication between us and our loved ones on the other side. So in addition to all of that, Archangel Azrael really supports us in releasing and letting go, and to see the love in situations, relationships, and circumstances as well, to be able to focus on the positive things. And he really helps and supports us in dealing with grief. And I'm going to say that there's the opportunity, or pardon me, many can experience grief, particularly at this time of year. There's so much that happens. There's so much energy and focus that goes into connecting with loved ones who aren't here either because they're far away or because they're physically no longer present in our world. And that can be challenging and difficult. Also, again, like those expectations that we have of ourselves at this time, that we have of the experience that we're going to have. If we fall short of that or don't experience that, then there can be grief on the other side of it. And so Archangel Azrael is coming in and saying, hey, I know this can be a really challenging time of year. I'm here to help and to support you and to love you. I love that he also came up with the malachite crystal. If you're a crystal person, you probably know what I'm going to talk about next. But malachite really brings stuff to the forefront. It is anything on a heart level. It really comes up. So if you were drawn to malachite for your reading this evening, also take a look and see where there may be some heart healing that's happening for you right now too. There's a lot of energy that's really pushing and promoting that at the moment. So be gentle, slow down, and take care of yourself. Awesome. Let's just take a look here. We've got some comments that have come in. Um, Big hi from Tasha. I love that. And Margaret says, beautiful crystals, and she's chosen carnelian. That was such a beautiful message. And I'm so glad that it was spot on for you too, Margaret. That's wonderful. And somebody else chose carnelian. Hold on just a sec. We've got a reading that's come in. Just give me a minute. Just popping in to say hello, sending giant hugs and all my love. Oh, it's wonderful to see you again. You guys, I'm so sorry. I'm not seeing, I will just actually show you what I'm seeing. Oops, did it show me? There we go. It's only me Facebook user. It's only showing me where you're coming from when you're making the comment. So if you want to include your name, that'll know who the comment's from. But if you want to stay anonymous, that's totally okay too. I'm sending big love and hugs to you. Love life. If you want to hold on for a moment. Great. And hi from Jenna. It's so good to see you. Wonderful. So I know that we've got a couple of questions that have come in. If you would like to ask a question for a reading this evening, please do so now. Because we've got two that are sitting here, I'm going to really quickly go and do those. So let me see. So again, I don't have a name here for this person, but they've asked, am I moving into a higher version of myself? Let's take a look and see what we've got coming up for you. Yeah, I do have that. So the imagery that I'm seeing is really of like releasing, and it reminds me of like shedding a skin, shedding a lining, and it feels like there's like a cracking open and then like an ascension that's happening. So it does feel like you're going through that process. What I do want to say is that it doesn't feel like it's an easy process that you're going through, and I'm wanting to encourage you to be really gentle with yourself because there's a lot of old stuff that you are releasing, you're moving through, you're letting go. I've got a lot of heart healing stuff coming up, and I do want to encourage you to listen to the messages that were coming up from Archangel Azrael in the Choose Your Adventure crystal reading around malachite, because it feels like those are really going to be significant messages for you. So I also want to encourage you to make sure that you're doing some really big clearing work. Grounding work feels like that's really important too. So I'm seeing you getting outside, connecting with the earth, but also doing things with breath and breathing. Forms of meditation also feel like they're really significant for you right now. And I mean, there's so much that's coming in. So I'm going to say that your intuitive channels are probably really opening up right now as well. But I want to encourage you to make sure that you're grounding and you're playing and having fun, because as I said, there's a lot that's going on, but the more that you play, the more that there is laughter and light, the easier it is to lift up. So the card that we have here for you is Archangel Chamuel, and this is the Beloved One card. I am helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationship. So this can come up from a lot of different perspectives. Yes, this can have to do with a romantic partnership. This can be soulmate relationships on lots of levels, because I believe that soulmate relationships do happen on a variety of different levels. It can be family and friendship, it can be a coworker. There are lots of reasons that soulmates come into our lives. But for you in this particular instance, it feels like it's the connection that you have with your higher self. So exploring that connection, learning more about your higher self, and getting really in touch and in tune with that. I am so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. I'm so sorry I didn't get your name. Awesome. So we have here, let me see. What do you see in my love life coming up? Any warnings or things to look out for? I continue to see 333, 1111, 444, all those all times throughout the day. Okay, so let's ask about you're asking specifically about love life. So that's what I want to focus in on. Um, I'm feeling the need for a little bit of space. So it does feel like there is currently a relationship in your life. If there isn't and you're looking for a relationship, then there's some clearing work that you need to do, my friend. Because when I connect with you and your energy, I feel like there's somebody who's there. And I just want a little bit of space. I want to say, hey, like back up. I need to focus on me and the things that are important to me right now. I don't know that this person is necessarily trying to be clinging, but I really want to create some healthy boundaries. And this feels like this is beneficial for the other person as well. But I want to encourage you to make sure that you're focusing on the things that you love, the things that really build you up, because that feels like that's important. If I'm not getting that right and you are single right now, then what I want to say is you really also need to be focusing on the things that you love, because that's what's helping to raise your energy and vibration, and it's helping to invite in a new partner. So regardless of your current relationship status, it does feel like that's what you're really needing to focus on. I don't know that I would necessarily, I mean, you've asked about warnings. I'm not feeling anything particularly threatening, but I do really want to encourage you to make sure you're taking that time for yourself, because it does feel like it's really important. That is going to be what allows you to maintain yourself and your energy through the coming changes over the next several months. And it's also what's going to allow you to be in the best and highest place that you can be for yourself and for your partner. Oops. So we've got two cards popping out for you. The first card that we have here is Archangel Raziel and Spiritual Understanding. His message is, I am bringing you esoteric information and symbols and helping you to understand spiritual truths. And to me, that also kind of ties into the repeating numbers that you're seeing. Check in and see what those numbers feel like and what they mean for you. There are lots of different resources available online that will also give you interpretations of numbers. So for example, for me, 1 is all about manifestation. 3 is all about ascended masters and connecting with loving beings. 4 is about angels and connecting with them. But I encourage you to explore that and see what it means for you. It can just be like, yes, you're on the right track and keep going, or it could be that there's something more that you're needing to explore with it. And the second card that we have here for you is the chakra clearing card. This is Archangel Metatron, and his message is, call upon me to clear and open your chakras using sacred geometric shapes. So not only are you coming into new awareness and new understandings, but also there's a need to release and to let go, because there is a lot that's happening. So really make sure that you're focusing on your stuff, on your personal growth and development, because that's going to have a positive impact on your love life and romantic relationship. Facebook user, I'm so incredibly glad that you joined us this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. Okay, let me see. Where are we? Okay, Steve. Hi, Steve. Thanks for joining us. The last time we chatted, we talked about creating a digital product. I haven't felt like doing that. I'm simplifying my life. Awesome. I just want to work and trust the process. I would like more money without saying I need it. I would like to drop unsupportive beliefs and attract more abundance. Any tips? Okay, so that's a really cool question and message. First of all, simplifying feels like that really makes a lot of sense. There's no point in investing energy and resources into something that you're not feeling right now. All that said, I am seeing that there is something else that you're going to be doing on the side, because it feels like although there are opportunities within your work and your job, it doesn't feel like it's kind of moving you to the point and the place that you want to be. So in the future, I do see that there is going to be something else that you're doing, something else that you're offering, but it doesn't feel like it's a hustle. So the sense that I have is that it's going to be something that you are developing and creating over time. It's something that is probably going to be able to kind of run itself. So that lends me to believe that there's some form of automation that's happening, which again feels like that's probably something that's digital. So I'm sorry that message is still coming up for you. But if I get into the heart of the question that you're asking is, how can I create more abundance? What I would say is it feels like we're letting go of those limiting beliefs, which I think that you've already what you've already said. I would like more money without saying I need it. I would like to drop unsupportive beliefs, and attract more abundance. So it feels like you're on the right track with what you're doing. I drove down to Parksville, which is about an hour drive from where I am, and I listened to The Secret, and it was about money and finances, and it felt really inspiring. And there were little tips in it that really resonated for me. And I would encourage you to listen to similar types of things, because it feels like that not only gives you some interesting ideas, but it also helps to raise your energy and vibration, brings to the forefront maybe some thoughts that are limiting beliefs that have been kind of holding you back. So I think I think the overall message that I'm getting for you is that there is going to be something down the line. It doesn't have to be right now. That will be something that provides you with support, and it is something that's kind of running on its own. But in addition to that, it does feel like there is the opportunity for more money to come in. I'm going to say that this is likely from a decrease in expenses and possibly a little extra that's coming in from your work, but it doesn't feel like there's another large source that's coming in at this point. But I do want to encourage you to listen to uplifting podcasts or radio shows or different things that are really focusing on abundance and manifestation. So the card, I love this. The card that we have for you is Gifts from God. And this is Archangel Sandalphon. His message is we angels bring you gifts from your creator. Open your arms to receive. This feels like, I don't think I could have picked a better card for the question that you've asked. Archangel Sandalphon lifts our prayers up to God, source, universe, creator, whatever your belief system is. And when he says that we've heard your prayers, we've heard what you've been asking for, you can really trust that, and then to follow the guidance that you're receiving around that. One of the things that you asked is you've stated a lot of things that you're wanting to do and things that you're not wanting to do, and there's an energy that is resonating with the universe for you on your behalf within that. So keep doing what you're doing, because you are on the right track. And it feels like the little messages that came up are just little bits and little spins to help and support you on that way. Steve, it's always a pleasure connecting with you. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way, and lots of abundance angels too. Awesome. Heidi, hi. It's great to see you. Thanks for joining us. Hold on. No, hold on a second. I accidentally missed somebody. I've missed Linda. Hi, Linda. It's great to see you. I love being here tonight. I'm so grateful you're here too. Do you have any insights into whether we should stay in our current rental suite next year while our condo phase is being rebuilt after the fire earlier this year? Let's just see. So, when I ask about that, I'm feeling a yes. I'm feeling that you're staying where you are, because it doesn't feel like there's change that's happening for you just yet. It feels like it's comfortable. It feels like it's safe. It feels like it's available to you. And there's a bit of resistance that's coming up in making any sort of really big shifts and changes at this point. There will be some changes that come up after the year. But right now I'm wanting to just kind of stay steady and firm. A space just kind of popped up, and I'm wondering if this is coming up from the perspective of travel or vacation, or possibly people coming to visit. And I am seeing something that feels like it just kind of works out. If you're wanting and or expecting people to come, but maybe don't have the space for them, I'm seeing that there are lots of options that kind of pop up, and it actually ends up working out even better than you expected. And then it also feels like you're out on the out, you're out traveling and exploring during part of the year as well. So there, it feels like there's lots that's going on. The space that you're in right now does feel like it's really stable. I'm not seeing any really big delays happening around the rebuild of your apartment and your condo. It does feel like that's coming together really quickly and easily overall. So it doesn't feel like there are many big hiccups. I'm seeing about a month, and given the size of what I'm assuming the project to be, a month feels like that's a really reasonable amount of delay time. So yeah, stay where you are, because it feels like it works for you. Let's just see what card we have for Linda. This almost feels contradictory. The message we have is spread your wings. This is Archangel Ariel. Do not hold back right now. The timing is perfect and you are ready to soar. For me, this feels like this has more to do with things that you're going to be doing in the coming year, as opposed to a need to make a change to the foundation and the stability that you currently have. This feels like this is encouragement to make sure that you're continuing to get out, to explore, to do things, to see and experience people. It does feel like there's a lot of life that's happening, a lot of love that's happening. So keep going. But overall, like, the answer to the question that I'm seeing coming up for you is to stay where you are until your condo is ready again. Linda, I'm so incredibly grateful that you came this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. Okay. Oh, I keep losing my place. Heidi, now it's your turn. When is the exciting romance coming? Seeing someone right now, but it doesn't seem to be going anywhere, and it's a little dull. Okay, so let's take a look and see what we have. Yeah, it feels a little ho-hum. There's part of me that's asking, is there more that can develop? And I get kind of a maybe. It feels like there could be something that shifts as we head into January and maybe the beginning of February. But it doesn't really feel like there's a lot of shift that's happening. Um, there's part of me that's feeling a little bit hesitant to completely let go of this relationship. So take a little bit of time and explore that. See if there's something that um, is worth exploring, to see if there's something more in this relationship and connection. But I kind of agree with you. I don't really see that there's a lot more that's coming up from it. So that leads me to wonder if there's something that you're coming to understand about yourself, something that you're coming to understand about a potential future partner, or if there's some sort of opportunity to do a bit of healing within this relationship. But I agree with you. I don't feel like this is the one. When I ask about new partnership, relationship, and something that feels like it's got a bit of spice and steam to it, I have, like, January, February feels like it's kind of a conclusion for this current relationship. And I have some doors opening as we move into the spring. Now, Heidi, I'm aware that spring for you, where you are, probably looks a little different than spring for me. So, but I am seeing it being bright, sunny, fairly nice weather where you'd be able to go out with just like a sweatshirt. So for us here on the wet coast, I mean, appropriate, but the West Coast, that starts to kind of happen in March. But you would be a better judge of when that would be likely to happen. I'm kind of wondering if we're maybe looking at a little more like April or coming into May. So it does feel like as we move into spring that there's some bigger energy that comes up. I do see a romantic partner that's coming up for you. Possibly also another one a little later. So I'm not 100% sure. There is certainly something that's exciting about this person that's coming up. It is a relationship that's worth exploring because you do get something from it. But then I've also got another opening that feels like it's coming up kind of more August of 2025. So either something kind of is on pause in this relationship that comes in the spring, and then it kind of picks up again in August, or we've got two separate relationships. Both of them feel like they're worthwhile and worth exploring. And it does feel like there's some vavoom as well, which is, I think, part of what you're needing. Let's just take a look. So that's really interesting. We've got the "You Are Safe" message coming up again. So this is Archangel Michael. I am protecting you against lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones, and your home. So, I mean, for me, when I look at this, I don't feel safety necessarily coming up when it comes to love life for you, but I do have releasing, because Archangel Michael helps us to cut cords and to release what no longer serves. And also, Archangel Michael helps and supports us on our life path. And relationship, romance, and partnership are all parts of things that can be really important and significant on our life path. So even though Archangel Michael isn't typically an angel that I would call in and ask for help and support in connecting with your romantic partner, he's popping up and saying that he's here and he's happy to help. So this can be, again, from a releasing point of view, letting go of something that isn't working. And it can also be from the point of view of inviting in that new person, especially if you phrase it as, on this next step on my path, I want to experience relationship and partnership. I want to grow within a relationship and a partnership and have a partner grow alongside me, and all of the things that you're wanting to experience on this path. Heidi, it's always such a pleasure connecting with you. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Excuse me, I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. Awesome. Margaret, it's so good to see you. Margaret's asking, what do I need to know about the next job I will manifest? I have not seen opportunities that were a good fit for me. I feel this has created a block and a lack of motivation to search. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. So let's take a look and see what we've got coming up for you, Margaret. So I'm immediately hearing like "Shake It Off," and I'm hearing the song. I think it's Carly Rae Jepsen, and I'm seeing literally dancing and shaking it off. It doesn't have to be this particular song, but I do want to encourage you to play music in your space that makes you feel good, that helps you to raise your energy and vibration, and that that encourages you and supports you in dancing and letting it go. Alternatively, if there are any opportunities for ecstatic dance or dancing freedom that are near you, that feels like that's equally helpful too, because I'm wanting to shake off and to get outside of your comfort zone. It feels like this is something that you're doing more on a personal level, and that it has kind of a ripple out impact and benefit on work and manifestation. So let me just ask, because you've talked about a block, let's just take a look and see what we have. It feels like actually there are a couple of blocks that are coming up, and I'm wanting to actually talk a little bit about fear. The I really need to create a visual that I can show you guys, because if you don't understand the reference, then it's hard to understand what I'm saying. There's this game when I was a kid, and I'm dating myself in saying this, and it was called Kerplunk. And basically it was a long tube, and in the middle of the tube there were a whole pile of sticks that popped out, and then the marbles sat on top. And kind of like Jenga, you're not wanting the marbles to fall, and so you have to pull out a stick and hope that the marbles don't fall into the bottom. And when it does, that's the kerplunk. And basically that's how I'm seeing the blocks manifesting for you, is what you were wanting. You are down in the tube, and in this instance you're actually wanting the marbles to connect, because that's the job, those are the opportunities. And it does feel like there are a couple of blocks that you're releasing. I'm actually also hearing beliefs that are coming up with that as well. And I'm wanting to encourage you to explore beliefs around being able to do something that you love, being able to do something that you're content with, being able to earn money for things that you love. Creative insecurity is also popping up. And I'm wanting to touch base and to touch in with passion as well. So I've got a lot of sacral chakra energy that's coming up with this. And again, like that movement and that dancing is coming up, making sure that you are moving feels like that's really important. And I want to encourage you to do it outside of your home and your space. It is helpful to do it in your space because that helps to shift the energy in your home. But I'm feeling the need to be getting out and connecting with other people, because not only is it invigorating, but it also starts some of that interaction and potentially a bit of networking that can kind of come up too. I just want to go back and check your question. What do I need to know about the job I will manifest? Really, I'm not seeing so much the job itself, but more the process that you're manifesting, that you're using to manifest, which also makes me wonder if how clear you've been about the job that you're wanting to manifest. Usually I say focus on how you want to feel in your job and those things, but part of what I'm seeing is that universe is like, okay, we've given you some options, but it's coming back. It's not the thing. So show us a little bit more about what it looks like. And I want to encourage you to create kind of like a dream board, whether it's digital, whether it's like on a piece of construction paper or Bristol board, but the different aspects that represent the things that you want to be doing, the things that you enjoy. So maybe you've got a corner and it's like, I want to be writing. So you've got something that's representative of writing, and maybe you have something else that's creative, and then kind of flowing into that, maybe you've got something about how you feel at work, and then flowing into that are the things that you want to do in addition to work. So not only are we focused on like work itself and the tasks that you're doing, but also what you're doing outside of work that's helping and supporting you too. So I'm wanting to become a little more clear so that the universe has a little more to work with to be able to give it to you. Let's just and that also feels like that helps with the motivation to search. So again, become clear and keep focusing on it as well, so that you can become even more and more clear. Let's see, Margaret. The card that we have here is leadership. This is Archangel Gabrielle, and her message is, it is time for you to assume your leadership power and position and lovingly guide others. So first of all, Archangel Gabrielle is all about communication. She's about really clear communication, being really concise, and helping people to hear others. I'm feeling her coming in for you around this because we're getting really clear in our communication with God, Source, Universe, angels, ascended masters, creator, whoever, whatever you want to work with. Be really clear and communicate with them what it is that you're wanting, what you want to create, and start to become a little more specific in what it is that you want. Say, hey, I'm looking for this, and then expect that it will be delivered to you. It's kind of like going to a restaurant. Have the expectation that it will come because you've been really clear about what it is that you've asked for. Archangel Gabrielle also feels like she's coming up because it feels like you're stepping into taking a bit more of an assertive role. And I'm going to say assertive from a looking perspective as well. And again, it feels like you have the expectation that you're going to find something. The more that you can play, the better and easier it will be. Oh, hold on. We've just had another card fall out for you. And the card that we have here is patience. Your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realize. Still, they need nurturing and patience. So, I mean, for me, that also feels like that's confirmation that you're on the right track and you're on the right path. But bring as much play and energy into it as you possibly can. So play might be maybe when it is time to start looking again, maybe you have a magic wand that you use, and it's kind of like abracadabra, and I expect boom, whatever it is that you're looking for. So play with it, and get out of your head a little bit. Margaret, I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support, and lots of abundance your way too. Awesome. Oh, okay. So we've got Tatiana here. Tatiana's asking about love and relationship and what's going on with the connection that she had, because he didn't visit. Yeah, take a step back, take a little bit of, give a little bit of space, give a little bit of room. it feels like when I connect with the person that we were talking about, we spoke together, I think last week. It feels like there's a lot that's going on, that there's a lot of busyness that's kind of happening in his head and in his schedule. So step back, take some time. And it feels like you're kind of matching him energy for energy. So if he's not investing and putting back in, then it feels like it's time for you to be taking your energy out and kind of stepping back, stepping away. Um, I'm I'm not I'm not quite feeling making a complete separation just at this point. And there's something that's really hesitant for me around exploring other options, even though logically that feels like that's the thing to do. I'm wanting to encourage you to continue focusing on yourself with where you are and what you're doing, because that feels like that's equally important. And give him a little bit of time and a little bit of space. Do not chase him. Do not send extra energy to him. Do not send funny little memes to him, um, because it feels like it's really important for you to wait for him to initiate and engage back with you, because when he has the energy, it does feel like he will. But don't kind of fall over that line. Make sure that you're focusing on yourself. If for some reason within the next 2 weeks you still haven't heard, it feels like then it's time to just kind of completely back off, back away, and open up to other possibilities. I do still see that there's a connection that's happening between the two of you in January, but if he's still not communicating in a couple of weeks, it feels like it's time to step back, that you've done what you could, and now it's time to put your energy again into yourself and into being open to somebody else popping into your life. But not just yet. There's a lot that's going on in his world, and not just yet. Let's just take a look at the card that we have for you, Tatiana. Healthy lifestyle. This is Archangel Raphael, and Raphael's all about healing. Eat a healthful diet, get adequate sleep, and exercise regularly for optimal health. I mean, to me, this is a card of self-care, and it's saying, hey, focus on yourself, focus on the things that are important to you. You be in a good spot and a good place, because one, if this fellow comes in, then great, you guys are going to be in a good spot together and you can kind of go off. If for some reason this relationship doesn't work, then you're able to let it go, and boom, you're in a good spot for the next guy. There's no way that you being in a good place is ever a bad thing. So focus on yourself, put your energy into you, and allow him to sort and figure himself out. Tatiana, it's always such a pleasure connecting with you. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. All right. We've got hi, Erin. This is from Facebook user. I'm sorry, I'm not sure who this is. I would love to know if my latest vision for my business is something I should follow. Okay, so when I ask, I get a yes, but. So basically, when I see the vision for your business, it feels like it's slightly off from perhaps where you started. And I'm seeing that we've got a growth that's even further off from where you started and from where you are right now. So it feels like your business is still evolving. Like there's a bit of an evolution. It feels like you're definitely on the right track, but it feels like we've got some more growth that's going to be coming up as well. If I look at how it's being placed for me, so where you started feels like it's here. Where you are now feels like it's here. And then I've got something, as I said, that feels like it's off here. So I'm going to say this is kind of about like a 6-month timeline. So don't be surprised if as you're growing and developing, you're kind of building out this new vision, if within kind of the next 6 months, let's call it 6 months to a year, there's something else that says, hey, like this is really working. I'm really interested in this. It may not be quite what I was starting out with, but it feels like it's a fairly natural progression to go this way. I have lots of excitement that's coming up around this. I hesitate to call it a niche, even though it is pulling you away from the main thing that you're working on and investing in right now. It does feel like it's really, really exciting, and it feels like it's expansive. Kind of the way that I see it is like a branch, and here's what you're working on right now, and then we carry the branch out, and then we've got all of this that's coming and coming from it. So yes, you are definitely on the right track, but there's more that's going to be coming, and there's some pretty significant growth that's coming through, 2025. So 6 months in kind of takes us to June, and then a year takes us to the end of 2025 and heading into 2026. So you're definitely on the right track and on the right path. The card that we have for you is the Divine Order card. This is Archangel Raguel, and his message is, everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past the illusion and see the underlying order. I don't know that I really could have chosen a better card for you for the question that you've asked. Basically, what this card says is that everything's in balance. It may seem like it's a little bit chaotic. It may seem like the change is taking longer than you would want, or there is a certain amount of unpredictability, but it's okay because you're on the right path. I do want to encourage you to make sure that you're following your intuition, because this thing that's coming up in that kind of 6 month to a year time frame, it does feel like it's kind of a little bit out there. Like it is a natural progression. It is definitely the path that you're meant to take. But it feels like there might be a little bit of risk that comes up with it. Do it. And it also feels like it's a really big step. It's a really big jump, a really big leap. So just keep building yourself up, just keep breathing. But I've got a lot of exciting things that are coming up for you in 2025, particularly, as we said, as we move into kind of the middle of the year and again towards the end of the year. Awesome. Well, Facebook user, I am so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. Awesome. So we've got another Facebook user. And again, guys, I'll show you what it looks like for me. I'm not getting your names. I'm just seeing where you're coming from. So the question that we have here is, hi, Erin, can you tell me if I will find love again anytime soon? Okay, so the trick for me with soon is it's not a really specific timeline. So the timeline I'm going to use is 6 months. Will I find love within the next 6 months? So I get a flip-flop with that. I have a yes and a no, and I'm actually wanting to go a little bit further out than that. I do see that there's some flirting, some interaction, but it also feels like there's part of you that's kind of shutting that down. So I feel like on the one hand, I want to experience love and I want to be in relationship, but there's also something that's kind of holding me back from actually doing that and exploring it. So over kind of the next 6 months or so, the next several months for sure, I do want to encourage you to make sure that you're focusing on being open to being in relationship. It feels like there's a lot that you've already healed, which is amazing. But I feel like we've got a little bit of extra stuff that may not be specifically relationship related. It may have to do with relationships that you witnessed and experienced in your childhood. So this would be like parents, friends, parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles, other adults who would have been around you at that time, because it feels like there's some stuff that we're kind of still releasing, that's helped to form beliefs. And if I were to ask you right now if this was your belief, you would say no. But if we look at the underlying interactions and how you see relationships, it feels like it still exists there. So subconscious belief, I think, would be the best way to term it and to look at it. So I do see that there are interactions that you're having, but it feels like we just kind of slough them off pretty quickly until we hit about that 6 month to 9 month mark, somewhere in there. So we're kind of over the summer of 2025 is when things really feel like they start to open up. I see somebody that you're interested in, they're interested in you back. It feels like there's definitely mutual traction. It feels like this is something that could go really quickly, but that the two of you decide to slow down and take your time with it as well. So there is definitely love. There's love that is coming, but it feels like there's still a little bit of work that you're doing, which is going to help and support you in coming into that relationship and being the best partner that you can be, so that you can end up with the best partner that they can be too. Okay, you guys, this is the third time this card has come out. We've got the You Are Safe card. This is Archangel Michael. I am protecting you against lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones, and your home. I'm not sure if there are children that are involved in this, but that just kind of popped in. And also potentially a concern around how you will be treated, or how you will treat people in relationship. And part of what Archangel Michael is coming through and saying with this is that you are a different person than the person you have been in past relationships and past experiences. And again, like tagging into those relationships that you may have seen as an example, you aren't any of the people who were involved in those relationships. You are different. The person that you end up with is different from that. And you get to choose what this relationship looks like moving forward. You and your partner together get to choose what you invest, what you put in, what's important to you, what's not important to you, and how you treat each other. So I see that there's a lot of revolution that's happening, evolution that's happening in your love life, and it's pretty significant. I want to encourage you to, once we're finished, go back and watch the beginning of the show, the Choose Your Adventure crystal reading. I'm kind of wondering if the crystal that you would end up choosing is the last one, is the green one. So I'm just going to put it out there, see if that resonates for you. But I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love, lots of romance angels, and support your way. Awesome. Hello, Facebook user again. So the message is, hi, Erin. It's so lovely connecting with you and feeling your energy. I'm so grateful you're here too. If possible, I'd love to hear any messages that are right to be shared with me right now, concerning my living situation. I'm in New York area now and potentially moving to Puerto Rico in January with a visit to France to see family. Wow, that sounds really exciting. Okay, let's take a look. So I just want to make sure that I have this right. So you're in the New York area now, potentially moving to Puerto Rico in January with a visit to France to see family. So first and foremost, it does feel like you are ready for a change. So I'm glad that you're looking into that. It does feel like there are kind of a couple of different moves and shifts that you're going to be making over the next, I'm going to call this the next 9 months. Let's be generous. Let's go the next year. So 2025. It does feel like there are a lot of shifts and changes. I mean, it already sounds like you're kind of expecting that there will be a couple with possibly looking at moving to Puerto Rico and then visiting France, having left New York. So I mean, right there within like a very short period of time, we've got 3 spaces that you're essentially living in. But it feels like there's a lot of movement and a lot of shift that's happening for you. So even if you do, or when you decide to make that move, Puerto Rico does feel fabulous for you. It feels like there are a couple of shifts that you're making around the area, and nothing feels completely settled for you until we get into the later part of 2025. So I'm really picking up September, October, November. And it feels like there's a bit of a change. I can't tell exactly where you are at that point, but I don't think you're in Puerto Rico anymore. I wish that I could get a really solid grasp on where you are. What I would say is, expect that the next year is going to be a time um, where your roots and your home are within yourself. It does feel like you will find really safe places to land, to spend some time, but none of them feel particularly permanent. Like it feels like maybe you're there for a couple of months, 2, 3 months, and then it feels like you're kind of off to the next place. I see the potential and the opportunity for a lot of excitement in this, because it does feel like you're able to travel, you're experiencing different places, you're experiencing different people, you're making connections with people, which feels really exciting as well. But and again, with that, expecting that rootedness and groundedness is coming in with you and probably your personal practices as well. So what I would say is, find things that help to make you feel grounded wherever you are. Some of the things that I'm seeing are things like journaling or drawing. You could be pulling cards, you could be meditating, you could have a yoga or a stretching practice, or things that you don't necessarily need a particular space to do it, but that you have everything that you need in order to make those connections with yourself, because that feels like that makes a really big difference. Let me see. Right. About your living situation. I just want to make sure, because I think to answer the question, I'm seeing your living situation going through a lot of changes over the next year, with a lot of opportunity to experience new people, new places, new circumstances. And it feels really amazing. And you're able to take what you need with you, which is awesome. Again, this is interesting because we've already had this card this evening. I swear there are 44 cards in this deck, 45. So this is Archangel Ariel, and her message is spread your wings. Do not hold back right now. The timing is perfect and you are ready to soar. So this is a card that's talking about not being held down, not being held back, but really leading with your heart. I'm also hearing trusting the process, trusting the experience. But it does feel like there's a lot of change, a lot of opportunity, and I'm excited for you. I am so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. Awesome. Let me see. So we have here another Facebook user. Will my grandson have a better year at school in the second half? I hear yes. And it's a really loud yes. In part because it feels like, knock on wood, it couldn't get a lot worse than it was. It feels like your grandson's had a very difficult time. So I want to send lots of love and support to him and to all of the adults and the people who are watching out for him and concerned for him, because it feels like there's a lot that's been going out. But when I ask about how the next half of the school year is going to be for him, it feels like things start to calm down. Not right away once we go back to school in January. This feels like this is a shift that's happening as we move into February. So I don't know if your grandson is in a school system where they have a semester that's possibly coming to an end and starting a new one in February. That in and of itself just creates a bit of a shift and change. But it feels like that may not be the case when I feel this. I'm not exactly sure what the changes are, but it feels like there's something that's being broken up. So there's something that feels like it's clustered. It feels like it's kind of like picking on or egging. So there's some sort of shift and change that's happening. I don't know if that's with a teacher, or if this is with classmates, or if this is getting some additional help and support that he needs. I can't tell exactly what it is, but it feels like it's just kind of like, okay, enough's enough. This has got to change. This has to be sorted and shifted, and boom, things are just going to get better. And that's all there is to it. And in fact, I want to encourage you to set the expectation that nothing less of change, positive change, will be accepted. Just, it is what it is. So whether you're talking to other parents, or teachers, or school board, or kids, whatever it is, nothing but positive change is what I'll expect. And it feels like that starts to shift things very quickly. So you're tapping into something really powerful. Let's just see what message we have coming up. We're going to focus on your grandson. Yeah, the card we have here is career transition. And I mean, I know that we're talking about school here, but for a child, for a young person, school is career. So this is Archangel Shamuel. Your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing the end of January, beginning of February, that there are significant changes that are coming. Archangel Shamuel helps us to find things. So Shamuel comes up when it comes to like soulmate relationship, and finding career, and finding things that are important. And I see Shamuel coming up in this particular situation, in that Shamuel is helping and supporting us in finding a new path forward, and finding a new way forward, and finding a solution for what your grandson is currently experiencing, and making things better. It does feel like you're going up. So things do feel like they're needing to be escalated in order for this shift and change to happen. So make sure that you're not afraid to go to teachers, to go to school board, to go to whoever, whatever, in order to get the support that your grandson needs, because it feels like it makes an incredible difference. Facebook user, my friend, I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support to you, to your grandson, and all who love him. Awesome. I have a message here. Hello, beautiful angel. Hello, my friend. I'm so grateful that you joined me. Just a little reminder, especially if you're sending me a message through Facebook, the names are not coming up. And so I just see Facebook user. So if you want me to use your name, please include it in the message that you send. Let me see. Oh, you guys, we've got a spammer. I'm so sorry. And I don't even know who it is. So I will go through and please just ignore them. They have nothing to do. They have nothing to do with me, and I'm sorry that they've hit. Let me see. Oh, Heidi, I did do a reading for you, but I'm not sure if it's a different Heidi. So, let me see. Heidi, post another message if I missed you. My apologies. I didn't mean to. Okay, so our next person, dealing with my late son's estate. I'm so sorry. Do you foresee any issues coming up and dates for things to be settled? 1, 2, 3. So it feels like things are boom, boom, boom. So I do see that things are being done. It feels like we're waiting on someone or something in order to kind of complete things and to move things forward. Yes, it's coming through. Do we foresee any issues coming up? I feel like you're currently dealing with an issue, because I feel like I'm waiting on someone or waiting on something. I can't tell exactly what it is. I'm almost wondering if this has to do with taxes. And to me, something like that would indicate that we're waiting for the year to finish in order to be able to do it. So it feels like what we're waiting on is something that we kind of expect it will be waited on. Like it's just a matter of timing. Time needs to pass in order to be able to move on to this thing. I'm not seeing any big challenges that are coming up in settling the estate. So with that, I don't see anybody coming and saying, making any claims against the estate. It feels like that's simple and straightforward. The biggest challenge feels like it's emotional. But as I do see you moving through. Well, I mean, that feels so awful to say. I feel you moving through it. I feel that there's support that's there. I feel that there's help that's there. Um, I keep seeing March, April, May as coming up as being significant time. So again, there's something that I feel like you're waiting on, and then boom, 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 things happen really, really quickly. It feels like the I's are dotted and T's are crossed as we move into the spring of 2025. As I said, kind of March, April, May feels like it's really coming to the forefront, and I'm seeing things really starting to shift at that point. Let's just see what message is coming up for you around your son's estate and settling it. The card we have here is Clairaudience. This is Archangel Zadkiel. His message is, notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind and from other people. This is a really interesting card for me, given the question that you've asked, and to me feels like it has less to do with the settling of the estate and more to do with potentially hearing and feeling and seeing your late son around you. I would say that he's likely trying to get in touch with you, either to help, to provide guidance, to provide solace or encouragement. So pay attention to the things that you're hearing. This could be hearing his voice or hearing words that he may have said. Could be turning on the radio and it's a song that either the two of you really enjoyed together or something he enjoyed. I'm feeling going back to teenage years with this, and so possibly music he enjoyed that you didn't. But it feels like this card in this message has less to do with the settling of the estate and more to do with him wanting to make sure that you know that he's around, that there's love and appreciation that's there, and that he is trying to get through to you. I am so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support to you, not only as you navigate this time, but also support to you as you bring conclusion to your son's estate as well. Big hugs. Thanks for joining us. Awesome. So let me just see here. So our next person here says, my son needs guidance about his relationship. Heartbroken, but involves his kids. Not sure if he should keep trying. Blessings to all. Oh, that's a big one. You guys, we've got lots of men who are going through a lot of stuff right now. We had a grandson, we've had a son, we have another son, we've got kids. Okay, let's see what we have coming up. Oh, this is such a hard message to deliver, because when I connect with the energy of your son, it feels like he's already doing a lot. He's trying to keep things together. He's showing me like juggling balls and trying to keep things in the air, trying to keep a partner happy, trying to keep work happy, trying to keep the kids happy, trying to find balance and happiness for himself. I'm feeling that he's really extending himself in a lot of different ways. I am seeing him. Oh, he's so tired. I'm seeing him continuing to try for a little longer, and again, I hesitate to say that because it feels like there are so many ways in which he feels like he's done. He feels like he's ready, and like he needs space and time for himself. What I would say is him trying a little longer is him putting up boundaries and saying, I can't do that, you need to do that if we're going to find a solution. And it could be that ends up pushing his partner to say, well, that's it, we're done. So I don't know if that's what he needs in order to be able to move on and to move forward. I I see that there's a really significant change in this relationship and partnership as we move into the beginning part of 2025. I want to encourage him to prioritize his own health and wellness, because that feels like that's going to be important moving forward, regardless of whether things are staying together or whether things are breaking up. For himself and for the kids, him being in the best possible place is going to be what is the best for all parties. And whether that's something his partner realizes or not, that's the truth for them as well. Even as I say it, I feel overwhelmed and I feel sad, and I am feeling really really kind of broken with it too. So I do know that I send so much love and support and compassion, because he feels like he is trying really hard. Let me just see. We're gonna pull a couple of cards here, because there's so much energy and so much emotion, and I feel like this is probably a big part of what your son is dealing with and experiencing, and that's why we've got the challenge that we have. So I've got 3 cards here. Whoa, and the last one is the first one I'm going to focus on. This is relationship harmony. This is Archangel Raguel. The message here: we angels are opening the hearts of everyone involved. Arguments and conflicts are being resolved now. So basically what this card says is the angels are aware. They're fully and completely aware of how challenging, how difficult, how much pain and heartache and heartbreak is happening. And it feels like it's happening on all sides. There isn't anybody in the situation that isn't being affected by it. And the angels are saying, we're doing our best. We're working hard behind the scenes to make sure that people can come to a place of resolution, and hopefully to a place of love and support as well. So know that there's support that's happening behind the scenes. Archangel Shamuel is coming through, and this is a really interesting card for me. It is career transition, but I feel like Shamuel is coming up for 2 reasons. Your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. So there, as I said, there are 2 things. When Shamuel helps and supports us with our soulmate relationships and partnerships, so it feels like apparent that that would be one of the reasons. Samuel also helps and supports, as this card says, with our work and career. I don't know if work and career is something that has been a challenge either within the relationship, or if in making consideration to be outside of the relationship, if there's a career change and transition that comes that helps to make things easier for all parties involved. But do know that Samuel is really helping and supporting, and it feels like is working on lots of different levels. So that also says to me that they're looking for lots of opportunities and potentials and solutions. I would encourage your son, if he's open, to be open to some pretty interesting changes over the next several months, and with the hope and the intention that they bring peace, whatever that peace looks like. The last card that we have here is the claircognizance card. I believe that this is Archangel Uriel. And his message is: pay attention to the thoughts and ideas that come to you as they are answered prayers. Claircognizance is one of the 4 primary ways that we receive intuitive messages and information, and it literally means clear knowing. And it's thoughts and ideas that pop into our head. So again, this could be, how do we keep the peace in our family? If we are going to split up, what does that look like? How can we find an option that's going to be in the best and highest good for the kids, to make sure that they have the support that they need? Be open to ideas just popping in that may seem really out there, but provide really beautiful sources of solution, help, and support. But what that also says to me is that your son is highly intuitive and likely receives his messages through thoughts and ideas, and encourage him to really start paying attention to that and to take action on it too. I am so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support to you, to your son, to the grandkids, to everybody, to the partner, everybody in the situation. Thanks for joining us. Awesome. Let me see. We have a thank you, Erin. I really feel good about your reading and totally agree. Maybe a potential, Italy trip will happen. That sounds really exciting. I'm not even entirely sure who said that, but I'm excited for Italy for you. Taylor Swift dance party on Friday. Maybe you were meant to be there. That sounds like fun too. Good evening, Erin Kerplunk. I forgot about that game. Awesome. Wondering if you feel change or movement in any change or movement in my space. Okay, let's take a look and see what we have. So I do have movement that's coming up, but it feels like first and foremost, it's in your physical body. I'm wanting to shake stuff off, get it out. Oh, that's the Taylor Swift reference. Sorry. I got the song wrong from earlier. Yeah, I do see movement. As I said, it does feel like it's in your body first and foremost, like you're shaking it off, you're getting it out, you're breaking it free, and you're having a good time. Oh, that actually felt really good. Maybe one of these connection with intention, we'll have a dance party and we'll shake it off. Let's see what else we've got going on here for you. In terms of your space, I feel like we're purging, we're cleansing, we're clearing, we're moving stuff out, getting stuff out. It feels like it's a new space. I don't think that we're actually making a physical move to a new space at this point. I don't even know that that's necessarily something that you were asking. I see that there's an opportunity and a potential as we move into like 4, 5 months, 6 months. So let's call that April, May, June of 2025. It feels like there's an opportunity for a bigger move if you choose. It doesn't feel like you have to take it, but it does feel like we've got a move coming up. I'm also really wanting to make sure that you're clearing space in your home. So purge clutter, get rid of stuff that you no longer need, donate it, sell it on marketplace, whatever you want to do with it. But it feels like it's time for it to get out, to move on. And then things feel like they start to really shift in your world too. I really want to encourage you to do some manifestation work. So clear your space and then start doing some affirmation, some manifestation. What do you want to invite into your life? What experiences do you want to have in 2025? I feel like you've got a really cool clearing space in like a living room kind of area in your home, and it feels really good It feels like it's a great place if you've got some friends who would be on board for maybe doing a little bit of ceremony, a little bit of affirmation work, a little bit of manifestation, maybe a vision board, something along those lines. But I'm wanting to start gathering people in your space and then clearing it out again. But yeah, gather people in your space, clear it out, make it yours. Let me just see. Feel a change or movement in my space. Yeah. But as I said, as we move into April, May, no, yeah, April, May, June of 2025, it does feel like there's opportunity for a bigger shift. And this card again, you guys, I swear I'm shuffling them. We've got Archangel Ariel. Spread your wings. Do not hold back right now. The timing is perfect and you're ready to soar. So yeah, you're shaking it off, my friend. You're enjoying, you're having a great time. Also, one of the things I love about Archangel Ariel is her energy is big, like Archangel Michael. And like Archangel Michael, she helps and supports us on our life path, but she's also kind of got like that girlfriend energy. It's like if angels had ego, it'd be the girlfriend that you call who always has your back. And you could call her up and you could say, "Hey, Ariel, I've got this dead body." And she would say, "No worries. I've got a trunk, shovels, and a map. I know exactly where to go." Like, it's that kind of level of support. So what that also says to me with her coming up and with that aspect of her coming up is that the change that you've got coming up in 2025 in that kind of mid time feels like it might take a little bit of courage. Like, it's really stepping forward. It might be doing something new, might be trying something new, going to a new place even. But that there's lots that's coming up, and it feels like you're starting to create that opportunity now and over the next couple of months. So I'm super excited about that for you. And I really hope that you come back and let us know what's happening, what's going on with you, because it feels really cool. My friend, I am so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. Hawk Paranormal, hello. Thank you for joining us from YouTube. I realized that you sent this message quite a while ago, but I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined in, and I hope you're still here. So again, we've got another Facebook user. The message is, "Hi, Erin. Thank you for doing this. Is there any reading for me? I am going to be honest. My depression has reached another level. I hear you. I feel you. I send you love." Depression is one of those really tricky things. Last couple of years, I was able to push myself and stay stronger, but I am in the worst state imaginable. I hear that. What is in store for me? The only thing that I can think can bring me any motivation in life is moving to the place I was born. But there is absolutely no way I see that can happen. I really want to give the best life to my daughter. Okay, let's take a look and see what we've got coming up here. So first and foremost, I am sending so much love and support your way. I really feel for you with depression. I deal with that myself, and I know how deep and challenging and difficult it can be. When I ask about moving forward, I agree with you. Shift and change feels like that's really the thing that helps to move you out. I mean, part of it does feel like it's chemical, biological that you're dealing with, but a lot of it feels like it's circumstantial. So it feels like the circumstances, the situation that you are living in, feel like that is creating and or compounding the depressive experience that you're going through right now. And I see you working really hard to try to move through that. I want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing, to keep focusing on your own care and well-being, and to ask for help and support where you can, when you can, because you're needed, you're important, and you're amazing. When I ask about move, I feel the wall that it looks like you hit and the resistance. Part of what I'm seeing is I do see some travel to the place that you were born, to the country that you were born. It feels like you've got 2 trips coming up in 2025. And what I'm seeing with that is that the planning and the time there, and then the planning and then the time there, is part of what kind of keeps you going, keeps you moving forward, gives you something to look forward to, gives you something to share with your daughter. And it also feels like it helps to ground your energy in the space. I do see a move that's coming for you. It doesn't feel like it's 2025. It feels like we are maybe starting to move into 2026. I hate that. I mean, I'm sorry. That's an awful thing to say. I'm frustrated by that on your behalf, because it feels like that does really make a difference. If you can, make it 3 times in the coming year that you go to visit, because it feels like, one, not only does that help to balance you and support you, and it supports your family, but it's also helping to create opportunities for you to make a move as well. And I'm seeing that the opportunities that are coming to the forefront feel like they are um, under the table, I think, is the only way that I can describe it. Like I do see you helping and supporting people while you're there, but I also see you receiving help and support yourself. And it feels like that's part of what's allowing you to be there and to stay there. I'm not really clear on how this is happening. As I said, like 2026 feels like when things are really moving forward. The time that you spend there through 2025 is part of what's helping and supporting that to come to fruition. And especially because you're making connections, or you're reconnecting with people who are able to help and support you in creating that dream and making that move and that shift. I'm not seeing exactly how it's happening. I wish that I could give you a step-by-step plan, but I'm feeling like there's a lot of faith that's coming to the forefront with this, and a lot of trust. And I can appreciate how difficult and challenging that can be when you are struggling with depression, because that just kind of keeps pulling you down. But as much as possible, please have faith that there's change that's coming, and that you will be okay, that your daughter will be okay, and that everybody will be safe. Let's just do a check-in and see what messages are coming up for you. I'm hearing hello from heaven. We've got Archangel Michael again. You are safe. I am protecting you against lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones, and your home. When Archangel Michael comes up like this, it feels like he's really helping and supporting you in releasing the things that are no longer serving and no longer supporting. I don't know if this is comfortable for you, but I'm seeing you continuing to pray, and saying, please help and support me in releasing the things that no longer serve, that no longer support me, that and help me to invite in experiences, circumstances, relationships, situations that are in my best and highest good, are in the best and highest good of my daughter, that help to bring me into a place of health and well-being, and continue to focus on that and to pray and to ask for help. It feels like there are little things that you're able to do. I'm seeing you already doing them to kind of help to bring yourself up. But I've got faith coming up as being a really strong part of what is growing for you over the next several months. It's going to be an important part of you being able to move through and seeing those circumstances and situations changing. I am so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. I am sending big hugs and so much love and support your way. I know that you get through this, and I send love and support to that effect. Awesome. Guys, I believe we've come to the end of our time together this evening. I am so incredibly grateful, honored, and blessed that you chose to spend your precious time with me. Thank you for signing on. I'm not sure when we'll be back again for the next one, but I'm hoping that it will be soon. If you've been thinking about connecting for a psychic and angel card reading, either through December and January, or you've been thinking about a gift certificate for yourself or a loved one, please visit my website, bookingwitherin.com. I currently have a promotion on. It's at the very top of the page, and it will take you to another place on my website. If you want to put it in directly, it's bookingwitherin.com/gratitude. Every year at this time of year, I send out Season's Blessings cards, and I include in it a 20% off voucher for readings that are phone, Skype, and Zoom, booked to take place during the months of December and January. and also gift certificates that can be used at any time throughout the year that are purchased during the months of December and January. Canada Post has been on strike since the middle of November, and so that's the time that I'm usually sending cards out. So they haven't gone out to people. So I'm doing the best that I can to let people know about it online. It is such a gift, an honor, and a pleasure for me to be able to connect with people, and I love to celebrate that abundance at this time by offering that discount so that hopefully it makes it easier to connect. Also, I've got some products here. We've got some chakra clearing sprays, and we've got some bath soaks as well. Again, because Canada Post is down, I'm not offering mailing services right now. But within the Comox Valley, I will be delivering this coming weekend. And then next Monday, which I think is December the 16th, I will be offering delivery to Qualicum, Parksville, and Nanaimo here on Vancouver Island. So please drop me an email, Erin at heavenlee, Lee, messenger.com, or just tag me in a post on my Facebook page. I'll be sharing pictures tomorrow. I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined me this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way, and hope that we connect again really soon. Take care.